All right, so you're going to be looking at her, and I'll be kind of manning the camera. But
Okay.
Okay. Can you say and spell your first and last name?
Teresa, Teresa, Laws, Laws.
I'm going to scoot towards the camera.
Okay. Easy question.
Okay, yeah.
What's the process of booking someone into jail that's under the influence of drugs?
Which of course they come in to the Sally Port and into the jail. They're searched. Once they're on warrants road, or we may have warrants on them. We assess them as far as medical. The nurse tries to assess them, and it's according to the extent they're under the influence that we see that where they're going to be booked in and housed at that time. They'll be booked in, but as far as if we can. Some people comes in and they're so under the influence they can't, we can't even book them in for hours.
Where do they go in that situation?
They're set up front and watched, or laid on a mat up there and watched.
Okay. All right. What substances do you see the most?
It's such a variety of oxys, meth, we know. One of the hardest, and I know some people don't consider it a drug, as far as we have keeping out, it tries to get in, is Suboxone, because it's so easy to hide.
Yeah. Can you tell me more about that? Where do people try to hide it? And
They'll send it in the mail, maybe soak it, try to soak it down a little bit into the envelopes, whatever. They pretty well hide it. It's so, it's just a flat strip, so it's really hard.
really hard to catch it.
Yeah, it's really hard to catch it.
Yeah.
But we know more now where to look than we did at one time.
That's good. What are some of the strangest ways or things, I guess, you've seen drugs smuggled in with?
This,
Just some of the oddest ways. I know, like in Monroe County one time, they put Suboxone strips into a Bible and
oh yes,
and
we
carried it in.
We had a Bible that was sent in. I'm thinking a family member had gave it to a pastor, in which that pastor comes in and visits. He had no idea. He brought the Bible in, and the back, the seam, the back, they felt something in it, in which they didn't want to cut the Bible, but they did a little, and I think meth was down in it. It's just under the false teeth. We've seen that before at the workhouse. I think any way possible that they can get it in, and mostly is on a person somewhere up in a cavity of some sort.
Yeah. Does the jail use any overdose antidotes at all? Use like Narcan or anything?
As of right now, we do not use Narcan.
Let's see.
What about people who are like not using anymore and going through withdrawals here? Do you ever see that?
Oh yes, they're watched very closely. A lot of times they have to be sent out to the hospital, and I think detoxing off alcohol is probably one of the worst as far as sending people out, because But the nurse does have a procedure. I can't tell you exactly what it is, but they are watched and monitored and try not to be put up, you know, if we're aware of it in any way. And usually if you put somebody up that it affects them later on, whoever they're housed with will let you know they're having a problem.
What kind of symptoms do you see? Like, what do you see when someone's withdrawing?
Shakes, fever, vomiting, diarrhea, really sick. It's bad. I mean, it has to be an awful feeling.
Does any of this ever take a toll on you? Does anything that you see in here ever take any sort of personal toll on you?
I guess maybe in a way you just go on to day because I won't even say you get used to it because you see something different every, you know. And when you see somebody that comes in that they're so out of their mind and it's days and days and days and they never hush, they have no idea what they're doing. And young people, not just young people, but especially the real young people, it's just, yeah, it bothers you.
Mm-hmm. What does the rate look like, I guess, with repeat arrest? Do you see a lot of people coming in here for drugs and then being let out and then coming right back in?
Continuously. It's really bad. I feel like really the judges try to work with jails the best they can. I've seen a guy I see back a couple months ago. He got like 11 years, I think it was. He was like out 2 weeks. They put him out on community corrections. He was out like 2 weeks till he was back. It's a continuous, everyday process. Violation of probation is probably one of the most common charges in the computer.
For drugs, going back to drugs?
Yes.
Is this a crisis in Hamblen County?
Absolutely. It's bad.
Oh, you're good. Let's see. I mean, how has your workflow had to change since you've seen such an increase in drug arrests?
Just a lot more people to deal with, safety of officers. You know, it's just like we're dealing with it like most jails are. Most jails are overcrowded, and most of it from jails is contributing to drugs. And just surviving.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's what we're doing, surviving. Pray it, nobody go home, everybody goes home at the end of the day, or end of what shift it may be.
Do you think jail makes people's drug habits better or worse?
I don't have an answer to drugs anymore because it seems like the more that people come in and get adjusted to jail, the less they care to come back. It's just, that's awful to say, but it's true. The longer you stay, the more likely to me it seems like it's you're coming back.
Do you think the drug problem is targeted towards specific groups of people, or do you think it impacts everybody in your county?
I think it impacts everybody.
You see it. I'm sure you're surprised sometimes by people come in here.
Oh, anybody. You never know who is coming in.
And it's because of drugs. It's not because of violence or because it's. Because
And you know, drugs lead to, say, domestics, a lot of assaults, and it just, drugs about relate to about anything going on out here.
Can you tell when somebody's using in here?
To the extent, it's according to the extent they're using, and some people know, I would say you couldn't tell unless you drug test them or whatever.
What time is it?
Do you have anything else you want to add about, I guess, the opioid crisis? Do you think there's a reason that East Tennessee seems to be targeted? 213.
You know, I don't know. I really have no answers to what the answer is for drugs. I don't know.
Are you frustrated by this? Did you grow up here?
I grew up in Hancock County. I moved over here when I was about 20. Been here for a long time. And it's...
Is it upsetting seeing what's happening in this community?
Absolutely, it's upsetting, especially thinking about our young people, just praying that, you know, get through. And it just seems like it's affecting everyone anymore.
Brittany, do you have anything else you want to add?
I think you were fantastic.
Awesome.
So,
Thank
yeah,
you.
I do want to
We
get
gotta-
one more shot. I'm going to get a shot from the outside looking in at you working.
Okay.
Just a generic shot to set the scene.
Okay.